Time now for Hawk Zone, sponsored by Muckleshoot Casino.
Well, the Seahawks season is off to an unfortunate start. Not only did they suffer a double-digit loss to the Rams, they also lost several of their starters to injury. Terry Hollimon joins me in the Hawk Zone now to break it all down. And I just want to know, is it too early for me to panic along with everybody else after yesterday's game?
No, it is time to panic. The end is nigh. The sky is falling. Ring the alarms. It's all bad in Seattle. No, it's not time to panic.
Okay.
You talk to some of the guys that have been veterans in the locker room, like Bobby Wagner, and they'll tell you, it's one loss. There are 17 games. We can pull this thing together. But at the same time, I want you to understand, guys, that this is not time to panic, it's time for concern, though. There were some things that we ought to be concerned about as Seahawks fans and as the franchise as a whole, starting off the season with a loss to the Los Angeles Rams.
I know, and it was supposed to be the Rams' rebuilding year. So what are some of your concerns, I guess, with that in mind?
Yeah, like you said, it was supposed to be a rebuilding year for the Rams. They were missing probably their best offensive weapon in Cooper Kupp. We thought this was going to be a game that the Seahawks would come in and really just dominate, and they weren't able to. First and foremost, they weren't able to get any pressure on Matthew Stafford, the Los Angeles Rams quarterback. And we thought that with our edge rushers that we had coming back with Nwosu, Boye Mafe, that we would be able to put pressure on opposing teams' quarterbacks. That wasn't the case. We saw some lapses in our defensive secondary and some disappointing play on offense as well. Geno didn't have his greatest day as a Seahawks starter, and there was some things that they're going to absolutely need to work on moving forward, yes.
Absolutely, and I feel like with Geno, some people are already tweeting this is not the quarterback that we saw last year. What's your takeaway there, or is it just too early to say something like that?
I think it's too early to give him that kind of criticism. Again, this is the National Football League, and one of the oldest saying in the National Football League is any given Sunday, right? Anybody can get it. So he had an off day. You can see he was a little frustrated, but he had reason to be frustrated. He wasn't able to spend a lot of time on the field in the second half. And that was one of the most concerning things.
Yes.
There was a point in the second half, Kelly, I want to illustrate this to everybody at home watching, where the Los Angeles Rams had 250 yards worth of offense, and the Seahawks only had 3. And for people who are visually, let me explain this to you. If you start at the goal line at Lumen Field and go all the way to the other goal line, and then go all the way back again,
and forth,
and then you go all the way back halfway, that's how much yardage that the Los Angeles Rams were able to put up, while the Seahawks were only able to put 1 foot forward, 3 yards. So it's tough. It's tough.
And I feel like then that probably tires out your defense, right? Is that one of the big problems you would say? Do you feel like it's offense? Do you feel like our defense was tired? I don't know.
Well, that's part of the deal. It was the defense. The defense was unable to get off the field, especially on third downs. And in the National Football League, that's very important. You have to get off the field on third down. So when the other team is able to convert and get first downs, that keeps them on the field for a long time. The defense gets tired. And Geno and the offensive weapons don't get a chance to get on the field and do their thing. Actually, the Seahawks were down in negative 19 minutes. So the Los Angeles Rams had the ball for 19 more minutes than the Seahawks. So if your team doesn't get the ball for 19 minutes, there's nothing you can do.
Right. So true. I was at the game. I really thought it was a shoo-in. I thought we were going to win. I will say the energy was really up at the start. B-Wags, I had goosebumps. Yes. I was on the verge of tears. I feel like other fans when he came out. It was so exciting.
Yes.
But then, you see the fans kind of trickling out and getting frustrated. But like you said, a lot more games to play, including next week. What does that matchup look like?
Oh, yes. We got to go to Detroit. We got to go to Michigan, head over to the East Coast. This is not your father's Detroit Lions team. This was not the team of the 80s and the 90s where the fans were putting the bags over their heads. This is actually very much improved Detroit Lions team.
Okay.
They finished the season last year very strong, and it looks like they're continuing forward this year with the same intensity. Matter of fact, the first game of the year, they were able to go out and beat the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. So these guys are looking very good, very solid, very strong. So again, the Seahawks are going to have their work cut out for them, and we have to go on the road to face them. They have a solid offense where the quarterback, Jared Goff, who we were able to see for a long time when he was in Los Angeles,
right?
He's a very capable quarterback, and he has some really good weapons on offense, including a couple of very good running backs. So it's going to be a tough game this weekend.
It's going to be interesting,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I feel like we're going to have to bring it. Maybe we thought we would have, we were going to win versus the Rams, so maybe now we'll bring up that energy. We can only hope.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think, see, here's the thing. I think the energy will be there with this team. I think they have great veteran leadership. Fortunately for them, they have great veteran leadership, and that's what you need in a situation like this where you're facing an adversity, where you come in the first game and you're kind of expecting to win. And some of the younger guys that are now a part of this, vital part of this organization, they haven't had that experience. But guys like Bobby Wagner will sit down and say, now, listen, young guys, we're professionals, right?
Right.
We came out the first week. We didn't do what we were supposed to do. We didn't do what we wanted to do. Now it's time for us to buckle down, and we got to go to Detroit and do our business over there. And so hopefully they'll pull it together.
I hope so, and I think everybody hopes so. Injuries, who are we losing? I heard some starters. So.
Yeah. So what happened, and again, I think this is part of where we face some of our struggles. I say we, like I was really out there.
We were, okay?
I felt like I was out there, but that was some of the deal that was going on with Geno. He was getting a lot of pressure, and the reason he was getting a lot of pressure because we lost our 2 starting tackles. And for those of you who might not be really super familiar with the offensive line play, having 2 starting tackles missing, that's blocking your blind side as a quarterback. And when you turn around and Aaron Donald, which is one of the greatest defensive linemen in the game, is in your face every single week, that's a problem. So Cross is out with a toe injury. X-ray said that there's nothing serious there, so we hope to have him back. And the and the right side tackle, Abraham Lucas, he has a nagging knee injury. Hopefully he'll be back as well. Boye Mafe will be back. And again, when Tyler Lockett went down,
I like what? Like,
yeah, he went down, and everybody holds their breath when you see him go down. But he was had some concerns with concussion. They got him cleared, and I think he'll be ready to go.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. Well, next week, or this week, you just talked to a Seahawks legend. Tell us about that. We're going to see that later this week on the show.
Thank you, New Day and King 5. I got an opportunity to sit down and talk with Richard Sherman, who's doing some incredible things in the media himself. He's turning himself into a little mini mogul. He's doing Thursday night football games now. He's got a podcast going on. Richard is really falling into his post-career role. It's incredible. I'm really proud of this guy.
How was he? Because I absolutely love Richard Sherman. So.
Well, yeah, Richard he's never out of a lap of words to say. He always has, he's a smart guy, intelligent guy, very prepared, and I think fans are gonna love to see him in his new role. He's great. I'm excited to see him.
Oh my gosh, Terry, as always, thank you so much for being here. Absolutely love it. So, live MMA presented by Excite Fight is back Friday, September 22nd at the Muckleshoot Event Center. Don't miss the exciting lineup of the Northwest's best fighters, including Shane White Eagle, who will be here in studio with us tomorrow. Visit the website on your screen for more information.